Well, I think that security is back at the top of the agenda, and unfortunately, because we do live in a more disorderly world, a more contested world, we have the rise of many great powers now, like Russia, China, Iran. The Western world no longer has its military dominance of the world order. We talk about the multipolar world, and with that we have a much greater number of security challenges than we had just a couple of years ago when we focused all of our energies on the Soviet Union or on Afghanistan or on Bosnia or Kosovo. Now we have, as you know, challenges from all directions. State actors with major military capabilities, but also groups like ISIL, which are terrorist organisations, but which operate states and have chemical weapons and missile capabilities. We have to deal with cyber defence, we have to deal with energy security, we have to deal with terrorism in all of its forms. So my sense is that security now is a much greater preoccupation of our governments and citizens, and therefore an even more important topic of study for intelligent young people whose job it's going to be to re-establish order and security in this world and to find innovative solutions to all of these challenges. So what this new master's program of Vesalius is designed to do is to really equip the aspiring young policymaker, the aspiring young diplomat, the aspiring young military officer, the aspiring young journalist who really wants to have a career in security with the knowledge and with the skills and with the network of contacts to really be effective in this domain. Because you know, when I started out back in the 1980s, if you knew about the Soviet Union and about tanks and nuclear weapons, you were good for 20 years. You didn't have to renew your stock of knowledge. Now, as we know, you can't give the same speech twice. The situation changes every 24 hours. So one of the other functions, I hope, of the new graduate program in peace and studies, security studies, strategic studies, is also going to be able to teach this flexibility, this ability to reprogram your brain, constantly absorb and analyze new information. But the final thing I'd like to say is that it brings together the key strands. Peace studies, because obviously it's about diplomacy, about negotiation, about how to find solutions to problems, because at the end of the day we need diplomatic solutions. But also the old war studies, the military side. If we have to fight, if conflicts take place, what are they going to look like? What are the weapons that they're going to be fought with? What can we expect? How can we prevent those conflicts by deterring adversaries? So that's important as well. And then the strategic studies element. Who are going to be our partners? You know, what's going to be our strategy to stay safe in the 21st century? So what we try to do is to take some of the existing strands that used to be taught separately in graduate programs, but bring them together. So we have an expression in my country that you may have heard of called the full Monty. In other words, the full thing, everything, the full spectrum, nothing is left out. So this, I think, is going to be a very comprehensive graduate program, which will combine, as I mentioned, the strategic aspects, the diplomatic aspects, and the military aspects. So it's going to be quite intensive. Students are going to have to work extremely hard, but I hope that they would get more out of this course at the end of the day than if they took a conventional or a traditional master's program in security and defence issues.